The world's most dangerous drug lords thought they were invisible behind the unhackable Phantom Secure network. But they were wrong. We didn't break the code. We broke the people. By flipping the engineers who built the system, intelligence agencies turned a fortress into a glass house. Watching every single deal in real time, the world's biggest digital dragnet was built on a lie. What if the secure phone you bought to hide from the law was actually a GPS tracker built by the FBI? Before we dive into how this trap was set, if you value this kind of deep dive investigation, hit that like button and subscribe. Do not be just a visitor and be a member of the family. To understand this massive betrayal, we have to go back to the origin of the beast. Phantom Secure wasn't just a phone, it was a promise of total anonymity. These devices were custom engineered, hardware stripped of everything. No microphones, no cameras, no GPS. The ultimate tool for the global criminal underworld. But the cartel's logistical threads aren't just invisible, they are massive, spanning continents. Millions of tons of product moving through international ports every year, tracked by encryption that was considered the gold standard of the dark web. The intelligence community knew they couldn't brute force the encryption. It was mathematically impossible. So they stopped looking at the servers and started looking at the creators themselves. This was a masterclass in human intelligence. Agents didn't just walk into an office. They identified the fundamental human weaknesses of the developers, their massive debts, their hidden secrets, and their deepest vulnerabilities. One by one, the architects of this unhackable dream were flipped. They didn't just give up the keys to the castle. They became the architects of the prison that would eventually dismantle their own empires. Enter ANOM. It looked like any other secure device, but it was a digital Trojan horse. This wasn't just a simple app. It was a deep-level integration into the device's kernel. Distributing thousands of these devices directly into the hands of kingpins through established criminal channels was a masterstroke of psychological warfare. The genius was in the distribution. It wasn't sold by the police. It was sold by the criminals themselves. Every single message, every high-res photo, every precise GPS coordinate sent on these devices went straight to government terminals. The very logistical threads criminals used to manage their operations became the evidence used to indict them. It was a total surveillance state, hidden inside the pockets of the world's most wanted men. They were literally paying the government to track them, living in a false sense of security while their every move was logged, analyzed, and categorized. This was total transparency, disguised as total privacy. A perfect mirror, held up to the face of the cartel. Then came Operation Trojan Shield, the moment the trap finally snapped shut. Tactical teams didn't just raid one house. They launched a massive, coordinated global strike across dozens of countries simultaneously. Imagine the sheer scale of it. Across the globe, thousands of hardened criminals, who thought they were completely untouchable, suddenly realized that every transaction they had made in the last 3 years had been recorded by the very people they used. In a single night, the digital dragnet went dark. From the streets to the deep-level server rooms, the cartels were left scrambling as their private communication vanished, replaced by the jarring reality of law enforcement knocking at their front doors. It wasn't just an arrest. It was a systemic collapse of trust. The paranoia that followed was arguably more damaging to these organizations than the arrests themselves. When you can no longer trust the phone in your pocket, or the person delivering it to you, you cannot maintain the structure of an empire. The war on cartels has moved from the streets to the server room. What we learned from the ANOM trap is that no encryption is stronger than the human desire to sell out. Global empires were dismantled not by gunfire, but by raw data. And it forces us to ask the terrifying question: if they could build this, what are they watching right now? We are living in an era where your privacy is only as secure as the person who built it. This case was the ultimate wake-up call for the criminal underworld, and perhaps for all of us. What do you think is the next big frontier in this digital war? Do you think encryption can ever be truly unbreakable again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Leave a
I
comment.
read every single one of them. See you in the next investigation.